Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. Continue to have a blessed and humble night. This y'all shorty Rachel. I want to welcome all of y'all to the Writers for Life brings you the Let's Talk About It podcast, yo. Tonight, man, listen, before I get started, man, let me give a big shout out once again to all the Leos out there, man. I caught a little strike earlier trying to play music and stuff like that, but hey, screw it, man. I had some fun. But listen, man, shout out to all the Leos. Happy birthday. You know, it's Leo season, so happy birthday to all the Leos out there, yo. Team Leo over here, all right? My baby Pops had me chilling today, man. He kidnapped my ass. I was supposed to go live earlier, but, man, I'm in here. I'm trying to, drink the rest of these little Jones right here. So I'm going to do this little live with y'all, man. I was listening to Papa Duck earlier, man, and his messages be hitting hard, and I love putting his message out there, right? And not just his message, right? Because right along with his message, I put my own message out there, all right, for those that need to hear it, all right. But listen, shout out to Papa Duck, yo, and for those of y'all tuning in, man, welcome to America, land of the free, where freedom comes with, a subscription fee. You want clean water? Swipe your card. You want, how can I say, breathable air? Better hope your zip code qualifies, all right? We're the only country where folks will fight over gas prices but ignore the fact that their kids are being sold algorithms for breakfast, all right? We complain about everything, never satisfied, always outraged, but still walking around with strings attached to our backs like corporate, how can I say, marionettes. We got freedom of speech, but say, how can I say, the wrong thing and watch your platform vanish. All right. We got freedom of religion, but ancestral wisdom that gets labeled woo woo unless it's trending. So tonight, how can I say, we're cutting the strings. We're naming names. We're flipping the script because if America's, how can I say, if America's going to sell us freedom, we might as well demand a refund and a receipt. Blessings, blessings. Welcome in, thrive and glow with Joe. How you doing, Nate, baby? We got Nate the Great Podcast in the building. Big shout out to Nate the Great Podcast, yo. Make sure y'all go check him out. All right. But as y'all can see the title, Welcome to America, Land of the Free, where puppets think they're in control. All right. Like, listen, it's too many mofos out here not realizing, right, that y'all keep saying the system is broken, all right, but the system is doing exactly what the system is supposed to do. All right. It's benefiting who is supposed to benefit. All right. Shout out, blessings, thrive and glow with Joe. Um, so Papa Duck has a little video, all right. I love this video he has out there. I love putting these type of messages out there. Listen, the last time I think I did one I did with Nate the Great and Papa Duck. All right. Listen, y'all gotta go check out. If y'all like Papa Duck, make sure y'all go check out Nate the Great podcast. Make sure y'all go check out the word, all right? Because on some real shit, similar type of messages. Different people, different messages, but they out here bringing awareness to the things that are happening, all right, within our communities around us, all right, the same way that this platform does. And before we do get started, all right, I want to tell everybody, if my opinion, if the opinion of the chat, all right, if the opinion of somebody that comes up and talks with a shorty offends you, makes you feel some type of way, I suggest you exit left, all right? Because at the end of the day, look, listen, how can I say it? I just hope the doorknob doesn't hit you with a good Lord split you. All right. I've been trying to be a good girl. All right. I've been trying to cut the profanity a little bit is working. But welcome to Billy, baby. And listen, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Down in the chat, we got a poll. All right. I would like for y'all to put y'all votes in. All right. Let us shorty know what y'all think about the poll. What's the most overpriced freedom in America? Do y'all believe that it's healthcare, education, clean water, or privacy? And for me, I feel as though it's all of the above. I'm not going to sit here and say it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie. All right. It costs to have health care. All right. And it's overpriced. It costs to have an education. Trust me and believe that. All right. Even if it's not overpriced, there's something you sacrificing. And trust me, it's sitting at the seats of every school. Listen, and you gave birth to it. All right. It came, listen, it either came, from the fruit of your looms or from, how can I say, from his spine. Real shit. Um, listen, clean water. All right. It's overpriced. Privacy is overpriced. Listen, they say we're free, but in reality, how they know everything about us? But when it's time, to catch a criminal, they pretend they blind. They pretend they don't got no tech. They pretend, that they don't understand. They don't know what's going on. All right. So once again, welcome to America, land of the free, where you gotta pay for water. All right. Rent your privacy and subscribe to your sanity. All right, we got folks out here paying $6 for alkaline water while their kids drink lead out of the tap. All right, we got billionaires selling us freedom in 30-second edge slots. All right, between trauma cycles. You ever notice how freedom always comes with a price tag? Healthcare, education, clean air. All right, basic rights turn into luxury items. So here's the question: if freedom costs money, who's really free? And if we keep buying silence, what happens when the bill comes due? I'm just talking, all right? I'm just asking a question. But we're here to review and react to, Papa Duck. We got to hear what he got to say. A shorty is going to give her commentary, all right? And I'm not just going to give my commentary. As I'm giving my commentary, I'm going to drop solutions. I'm going to ask mind-provoking questions, all right? I might, throw a little poetry in there. At the same time, I might throw a little bit of jokes, all right? So let's just have some fun. Let's enjoy. Let's talk solutions, all right? Let's talk about how we can improve the things around us, if it's possible. And if you're here today, all right, talking with a shorty, whether it's in the chat, all right, or you ask her to drop the link so that y'all can have a convo with her real quick, you're a part of the solution. I'm not here to bash your opinion. I'm not here, to bash anybody, bring anybody down. All right. We're here to find ways on how we can improve these things that they told us can never be improved. All right. So with that being said, the poll is going to be left in the chat for as long as we live up here. All right. I'll end it at the end of the live. But let's get this podcast started. All right. Let's see what Papa Duck got to say. Make sure y'all go check out Nate the Great podcast. All right. Great conversations, great topics, boy. And I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. And listen, man, Nate be raw and uncut. All right. He be raw and uncut. So just be ready.
Listen, man, I heard somebody
I'm
say
listening.
something about getting it the honest way, right? And it was talking about how people be what was buying food stamps and cheating the system and all. Let me tell y'all something.
I can't with them.
Let me tell y'all something, right? Ain't a motherfucking thing in America honest. They'll tell you to get it the honest way while they go take, steal, rob, pillage, rape. They do it all to get where they're at. Okay? These people have tampered with your understanding of life. You've been robbed. There's no do it the right way. If you go outside barefooted right now, you're walking on blood. Dead people's blood. People who helped build this motherfucker. Don't you know these people built a construct to where you will have to go out and work your ass off while they running around in their lavish penthouses and flying all across the world like they done shitted on us. This is their system, not your system. Then they'll tell you that God say go get it. Oh, a man's supposed to work to the sweat of his brow. That's slave talk, homie.
Yo, and I listen. I got a poem. He just like I had it in my head. I gotta hear him say it
And
again.
flying all across the world like they done shitted on us. This is their system, not your system.
Right, yo, this is their system, not your system. Yo, there's a new poem on the way. All right, I don't know what it was when he said that. All these thoughts just crossed through my head. I got my book right here. Yep. Yep. I gotta start taking some notes real quick. I definitely get the fuck out my way. Paper towel. I'm listening. Don't mind a shorty. All right. I'm a little lady lit. Lady lit. All right. I got some Jack in me. I got some Mary in me. All right. The shorty just, out here having threesomes with Jack and Mary. So don't mind her. All right. I'm chilling like a villain. But shit, what was he said? This is their system, not yours. And once y'all realize that, man, shit'll be Gucci.
Then they'll tell you that God say go get it. Oh, a man's supposed to work to the sweat of his brow. That's slave talk, homie. Now you see how all this ties in. Because like I always say, when you working to the sweat of your brow for a motherfucker that's in his office practicing for his tier 1 trip, while you work your ass off, putting money in his pockets, sending his children to college, making their life better. Who came up with this construct? You had to be a devilish motherfucker to come up with a construct where people are robbed of their lives. Like you born in America, which we would say, oh, this is way better than a third world country from what they say.
Real shit.
Yes, there's some conditions over there that's fucked up, but there's some conditions over here that's fucked up too. And the more you travel, the more you realize it's rich parts and it's poor parts. So don't get that twisted. But what you do got to understand is this. This is a controlled environment that you don't control. They do. They put the drugs here on the streets. So when you see people running around on drugs, who put these drugs here? I always say if you could train a dog to stop, roll over, jump up and down, you could train dolphins and you could train whales. You could train people not to kill, not to take from each other. There's countries that promotes this. You got countries where they hang fruit on the fence for the homeless. In America, but you go to jail for feeding the homeless. We had to start throwing parties for the homeless. That's how we got away with it. And I told y'all why they don't want you feeding the homeless, because you are aiding them. You're giving them aid that stops them from going out committing crimes so that they don't go to jail. So when their jails are not filled, they can't make no shmoney. I done told y'all this shit. America is full of shit. There's nothing here that says honesty. Nothing.
I don't think in any country there's nothing that says honesty on some real shit. And shout out to I can't even say his name. I think ZT Narf. Right? He said just because it's better don't mean it ain't got no problems. Ain't nobody said that though. But I appreciate that. That's true though. You're not lying on that part. But I didn't say that, just because it's better don't mean it got no problems. I never said that, right? If you gotta really watch my lives to understand where I'm coming from. All right. But I get where you're coming from. At my friend's job, they couldn't give homeless food that was left over because they could press lawsuits if they got sick. Yep, I know that. I mean, listen, I used to work at the stadium, and I got, I was told, like, listen, in the beginning, I didn't know when I was first going in, and my first day, first week actually, and they was trying to tell me, it's like, don't do it, you're gonna get in trouble, and I was like, what? You telling me I can't give nobody no leftovers? Same shit in the private schools. You see where I'm coming from? That's when I started really, seeing things like. So I know where you're coming from. That's not what we're saying. See, we're here, we have these lives, all right, to find improvement. You see where I'm coming from? All right, to how can I say, help these how can I say, find these improvements, improve, all right? It's hard to put it into words, all right, sometimes. All right, we're here to talk about it, have conversations. You see where I'm coming from? Let's get to the root of the problems, all right? If we can improve these things, let's find a way to improve these things. You see where I'm coming from? Like, it's hard to really break down once, because it's like I've said this over and over and over and over again, all right? So it's kind of like we get that, all right? We know we can't change the world in one day, all right? But in order to make changes around us, we have to improve the things that are not working, all right? The things that are failing, the things that are fucked up, the things that are messed up, all right? We can't sit here and say, well, we're going to, find unity unless we, how can I say, fix that broken infrastructure that has been broken. All right, I could put this in so many ways and so many words. So, I get exactly what you're talking about. But see, we got to lead by example, like our old head said. All right, I don't just talk. You see where I'm coming from? I put that footwork in. All right, I lead by example. All right, I come from North Philadelphia. All right, I'm a leader of my community. I'm a block captain actually on my block. Right, and I have to deal with the governors, the senators, basically all the people at Congress. All right, when I want things done, like getting the alleys clean or getting these potholes, fixed and stuff like that. Even though they got 311, all right. You see where I'm coming? Like I come up there, like I'm also somebody that has a petition up here. I'm one of those parents that made it possible, for there to be cameras within these classrooms. All right. It's so many things that we could do together, but there's no more unity and community. But the more we talk about it, the more we show, all right, the more we be about it, the more we show those that want to be about it, all right, that there's a way. Like I had to, how can I say that? This conversation, and I was live when that happened, right? And it was a Saturday morning cleanup, right? And I have to get my neighbors up. Sometimes, a lot of people don't want to come out. They don't want to do nothing, all right? But you know who are the ones that are going to do it, all right? But she's like, I don't know how you keep doing this. These people ain't gonna do nothing. But at the end of the day, y'all taught us lead by example. That's why I give a shout out to my old heads. All right, I ain't just talking. I'm actually putting in that work. All right, like we can't build nothing if the infrastructure is broken. So if we can get enough, together, all right, that's a different story. Will it happen today? I'm not so sure. All right, I'm not making no promises. But in the meanwhile, hey, let's talk about it. Facts, facts. I appreciate you. Shout out to CT, Narf, yo. Like he's being real in the chat though. Let's say we can't get mad at people for their opinions. That's why I be trying to tell people, man. Like I love when people come on here, right, and they give me different perspectives, different ways of seeing things, all right? Because I'm not one-sided. You see where I'm coming from? I'm not biased, all right? But at the end of the day, right is right, wrong is wrong. So I like seeing different ways. I mean, I could be wrong in something. I could be seeing something wrong. All right. The same way, somebody could be seeing something wrong. And I'll be like, listen, I see it this way. Like, what if you see it, take a minute and see it this way? So I take a minute. Like, if I want people to see it my way, I take a minute. Let me see it their way. Like, like it doesn't hurt me to see, how can I say, things the way other people see it through their eyes on some real shit. I'm not a victim, so I'm not gonna sit here and cry and make excuses. Oh wait, this is not. I'm like, this person's telling me I can't do this, man. Fuck that, man. We could do this. If my way don't work, let me see what you got. What you telling me to do? I'm all ears. But let's get back. Let's get back. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Do you know what these people sunk the Titanic on purpose
That's
and
some real
sold the
shit.
story to us? Like that shit just happened. Oh, it was a malfunction of the boat. No, nigga. JP Morgan Company built the boat on purpose.
And for those of you wondering, we did a whole live on that. Go to the beginning of our lives, all right? We broke that John down. I think it took us a few lives to break that down, all right? It took us a few lives to break this John down.
To sink. When they started, right, the monetary system. This was in Jekyll Island. This is right here in Georgia.
Yep.
You can go there to this day. Jekyll Island. You're going to see the Rockefeller's house. You're going to see JP Morgan. All that shit still there. This is when they start coming up with the money construct. And there was a few people that didn't agree with it. So what did they do? They killed them. They made sure the right people got off the boat when they made those stops and made sure the right people stayed on the boat in that motherfucking song. And they sold that shit to, a matter of fact, they monetized it to us. They made millions off of a serious catastrophic ass event that they planned. And that's just one. And most people don't even know about that. Ain't shit about America, honest homie. Nothing.
Facts.
Them people put us in their schools. making sure that the bullshit education they teach us is going to surround our psyche, our reality with scarcity, limitations, right? They're going to control us through all type of stuff from language. They're going to control us. Like I say, they teach you what salt tastes like, what sugar tastes like, and that tastes like. They what they do is they manipulate every way that we receive information. They manipulate your tongue, your palate. I say this shit all the time, bro. You go get a grape soda, right? And through your eyes, that's manipulation. Just because it's the color grape purple, we think that resembles grapes. So they can sell us a grape soda, and every ingredient in that motherfucker is everything but grapes. But we call it grape soda.
Real shit, pop. And people love it too, yo. Listen, once again, welcome to America, land of the free. All right. If you could afford the monthly payments, you want clean water? That'll be $3.99 plus tax. You want breathable air? Sorry, that's only available in zip codes with Whole Foods. All right. We got, how can I say, we got folks out here paying $6 for alkaline water once again while their kids drink tap water that tastes like it's been filtered through a rusty, how can I say, tombstone. All right. And don't get me started on freedom of speech. All right. Say the wrong thing and your platform disappears faster than your stimulus check. All right. So here's the question. If freedom costs money, all right, is it still freedom or just a, how can I say, a really aggressive layaway plan? Is there a way, to push for community-owned resources, water, Wi-Fi, wellness centers, all right, support local mutual aid, how can I say, mutual aid and policy that removes profit from survival? All right, is there a way that we can come together and, build our own communities, all right, build our own, money system, school education, right? And I feel as though we can if we come together, right? But there has to be unity in that. And we could do it as long as we don't fuck with their system. All right. Most of y'all gonna like, oh, that's crazy, that shout out. But if y'all been watching us for a while, y'all will see why I'm saying it. And once again, the poll is down below. Y'all can put your votes in. It's supposed to be actually, 5 votes for YouTube, but only let me put 4. All right. So if y'all want to put the 5th vote in the chat, y'all more, than welcome, right? But what's the most overpriced freedom in America? Healthcare, education, clean water, or privacy? All right. Those are the only votes that you could put in. But if y'all want to say all of the above, in my soul too, shit, y'all more than welcome. Shit. Put y'all comments down below, man. Let us shorty know. Let's get the discussion started.
All right, because they've taught us this tastes like this tastes like this. So you're gonna love this, you're gonna hate that. Don't you know bitter is better? Anybody who's into herbs, herbalist, they'll tell you bitter is better. Shit that tastes good is bad for you. Shit that tastes bad is good for you. When you go to the motherfucker, when you go to like these third world countries and stuff, they gave one of them people a Snickers, a Snicker candy bar. We love a Snicker. Man, them people looked at that shit, ate that shit, and holding that shit up in the air like a $100 bill. Like, what the fuck is this? Because they didn't have the programs to process what this shit is. They taught us, oh, this is a sneaker. It tastes like sugar, and you should love it. Man, that shit killing us. Ain't nothing about America honest. Right? The judicial system. The judicial, you know what I'm trying to say. That shit all fucked up. Don't you know when you go to court, right? Why you think your heart be pounding? These people set the courtroom up, right? On an asymmetry and a symmetry level, right? I'll talk about that later. I'll talk about it in a bit. But you have to understand, when you go to court, they speak what they call legalese. This is another language that even the lawyer, even all the lawyers and the fucking judges, they don't even know the language to it. It's called legalese. Go look it up. Because the words you think mean this, it don't mean that at all. People fell out and lost their shit, especially on TikTok. No disrespect to my TikTok fans, but TikTok.
I'm dead.
When I spoke about collateral consequences, right?
Oh, they came at you on TikTok.
I'm gonna keep speaking my shit because I want to educate people. When you commit a felony, and I'm gonna keep saying it till y'all get it. When you commit a felony, in America, you are now by law a dead man or a dead woman because you cannot compete like a normal citizen can because of that felony. And you are faced with what they call collateral consequences. It's over.
Yo, he ain't lying. All right, I had to pause it real quick. I'm gonna rewind it so y'all can catch the whole thing. All right, look it up, search it. It's a real thing. I'm sitting here like, damn. So basically, once you get arrested, all right, unless you can find a way to get your shit together, all right, you are considered a. It's hard as shit. All right, that's why I want to start. That whole little saga, right, where I'm interviewing the men that have been locked up and have found ways to turn their life around. You see where I'm coming from, and not stay stuck in the same position, not stay stuck in a corner selling. All right, they're able to invest, own properties, rent these properties, flip. All right, but they was told that they couldn't. But that when I'm able to do that, I'll let y'all know. All right. And when I start it, I gotta sit down with my baby pops. All right, and figure out when we're gonna start these interviews and stuff like that. But that's coming soon. All right. But shout out to Papa Duck for bringing awareness to all this show. They say we couldn't do shit, we can't do shit, right? But let me ask y'all a question, right? Look at the Amish community. All right, they're thriving. They got their own little community. They don't fuck with the system, and they're able to do what they want to do and how they want to do it, and nobody fucks with them.
Felony.
Yo, we got Gary Busted Down Brown in the building. Blessings, 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 guys. Make sure y'all go check him out. Great conversations, great topics.
And you are faced with what they call collateral consequences. It's over 45,000 different collateral consequences. And like I say, it's gonna make it hard for you to vote. A dead man or dead. When you commit a felony, and I'm gonna keep saying it till y'all get it. When you commit a felony in America, you are now by law a dead man or a dead woman because you cannot compete like a normal citizen can because of that felony. And you are faced with what they call collateral consequences. It's over 45,000 different collateral consequences. And like I say, it's gonna make it hard for you to vote. It's gonna make it hard for you to bear arms. It's gonna make it hard for you to adopt. It's gonna make you hard for you to sign a lease. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna make it hard for you to get a job. And you got all these people saying, oh, this and all that. I'm a convicted fella. I did this, I did that. See, that's why I say comprehension. A lot of people can't comprehend.
Yeah, shit. He ain't lying.
Your fault. Okay.
He said it's not your
fault. They
fault.
coming at me like I made this shit up or I forced this on people. I'm trying to educate you, bro. Go look it up for yourself. But what I'm telling you is this: it's nothing about America that is honest. Innocent children go to school just to be taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? Fed the bullshit in their brain. We've been indoctrinated, man. We don't know shit about money. We think money, people don't understand. The more physical money you have, the broker you are.
Facts.
If you got $100 million, if you got $1 million, 900,000 of that shit should be in investments. You only should have 10% of cash. That's why people say I'm cash poor, but they got a lot of assets, and those assets crank money. It prints money, but they teach us to have this shit stacked to our ear or be spreading across our hand. But we look stupid as fuck, but it ain't our fault. They promote this shit to us. And this is why I say you can't complain when young black kids rob your ass or they shooting each other or they coming up in your shit or they acting wild. Even females, you can't blame them. Y'all taught them. And we blame the finger, we point the finger at each other. Mm-hmm. Oh, black people, y'all don't know how to act. Black people, I used to think that shit until I had to realize this is an antenna, like this is a receiver. All this shit does is record information.
Yeah.
Who's feeding us this shit? They are. They are putting millions of dollars behind TV shows, music, everything you could think of. And social media even made it worse because algorithms, and I'm gonna do a whole nother video on that, but the algorithm basically is your personal life.
If you want to build an app and have no idea how to code or where to start,
I should have put it on the premium. I'm tripping. But he is spitting them gems, yo. Listen, We live in a time where outrage is a lifestyle. People wake up mad, scroll mad, go to sleep mad, and still don't know what they're mad about. That's the crazy part, all right? We cancel people faster than we cancel gym memberships, yo. Like, and let's be honest, most of y'all still paying for Planet Fitness and haven't seen a treadmill since Obama was in office. All right, we post justice for hashtags like it's a seasonal trend, new strategy. All right, same font. But here's the truth: outrage without action is just emotional cosplay. So ask yourself, are you mad or are you mobilized because one gets likes, the other gets legacy? Which one is it? All right. Is there a way that we could turn outrage into organizing, all right? Like putting petitions, protests, policy, all right? Pushes, like I say policy pushes, all right? My bad. I said that I know sometimes I'll be sounding like but no, all right? No. Build accountability dashboards for platforms and public figures, all right? If your outrage doesn't change anything, who does it serve? Your ego or the system? Leave your comments down below. All right. Let us shorty know what you think and how you feel.
But the algorithm basically is your personal life guidance. Let me tell you how.
X.
The algorithm learns your patterns and it learns what you like and don't like, and it feeds you what you like and don't like. So it corners you off. This is why certain things you don't see, you only see the shit that you've been posting, liking, sharing, talking about. And that's it. So now you locked in box. So now the algorithm is training you to act and love and perceive and accept certain shit a certain way. You locked in box off of your own Instagram, Facebook. That's why I get on my shit and I like to put information out. I don't really look at the shit that come my way because I understand social media is designed for you to tell all your information. That's it. And they take your information and use it back against your ass through advertisements. So they monetize your ignorance.
Real shit, yo. But people ain't woke yet.
Yeah, they monetizing your ignorance. That's why when you click on shit, or now you can speak about it. If you like this type of beer, I love Corona. Watch how Corona start popping up on your shit.
Everything that you mentioned, yo, listen, your phones are not just trackers. It's funny as shit how you're having a conversation, right? And you know, I was speaking about Jack Daniels earlier with my baby pops, right? And it's crazy how I had a whole bunch of, ads on my Google. Like, listen, I got this new phone, right? And the screen is different. I can see these videos from Google now. But it started advertising Jack Daniels, K. Michelle, and all this stuff. I'm over here like, get the fuck out of here. That shit was weird as shit. Because I didn't ask Google to search anything. I didn't ask Google to do anything at all. But the motherfucker just felt like it wanted to just show me, oh, wait, let me let you know that I'm listening to your conversation. You know this about Jack Daniels? I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? So he ain't lying. Like, no matter what you say, what you're typing, you see where I'm coming from. And what's crazy is people don't understand. You could also make your own algorithm, right? It's funny as shit. But, yeah, like the things that you talk about, you get these ads pop out more often and more often, especially when you're on live and you're talking about certain things, right? It's crazy how YouTube will push that type of topics, all right, towards your algorithm. So, listen, for those that don't think that they can't make the algorithm, yes, you can. You can make your own algorithm. You can stop, the things that you don't like from popping up by blocking or restricting, saying you don't like it. You see where I'm coming from? And more things that you like start getting pushed out.
And they take your information and use it back against you to act and love and perceive and accept certain shit a certain way. You locked in box off of your own Instagram, Facebook. That's why I get on my shit and I like to put information out. I don't really look at the shit that come my way because I understand social media is designed for all your information. That's it. And they take your information and use it back against your ass through advertisements. So they monetize.
Not just that. It's crazy how certain people, right, use that information to hurt you too. To end your channel on YouTube or whatever platform you're in, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, right? It doesn't matter the platform. People will use your personal information against you.
Yeah, they monetizing your ignorance. That's why when you click on shit or now you can speak about it. If you like this type of beer, I love Corona. Watch how Corona start popping up on your shit because of the advertisements. So what I'm saying is this, bro. I don't give none of these big major companies no kudos because they own everything. Why would I give a company that's in a family that's got access to billions of dollars? What did you do? Nothing. Your children are running around off the backs of other people who's putting in the real work.
Facts.
And y'all telling me this is what God wanted? That shit don't make no motherfucking sense.
Nope.
As long as it benefit them, oh yeah, they're gonna say God. Cause they know you're gonna believe this shit. Anytime you throw religion in some shit, it throw logic out the window. You ain't even thinking no more because they say God said it. Man, use your fucking common sense, man. You think God gonna punish you because you want to know the truth? No, he gonna punish you for not using your common sense. And stop being afraid.
Facts.
But you scared of. Like Paul said, everybody's scared. Everybody want to go heaven, but they scared to die. Because they gave you what death is, right? Everything you know, these people programmed you with this shit. That's why I say scarcity. I said that earlier in this video. You go to school, they teach you all these scarcity, so you got all these walls up. That's why a child that can sit up will sit down on the ground and a snake can slither around them and they can play with that snake. And y'all might say, oh, that child's stupid, that child dumb. No, that child just hasn't been programmed with the scarcities, or it hasn't had those programs of fears.
Facts.
Animals move off vibration. Those snakes ain't gonna fuck with that motherfucking baby because they feel the vibration. That's how they communicate.
That's a fact. All right. It's like a mama bear. That's why I say that I'm like a mama bear to my damn kids, yo. Like, fuck with my kids, yo, and it's like a mama bear protecting her cubs, all right? What's crazy is who's pulling the strings? Platforms, systems, or silence? Leave your comments down below, all right? Let's talk puppetry. You think you're scrolling freely? Nah. You're being fed like a toddler with an iPad and a YouTube playlist, all right? Algorithms don't just show you what you like, all right? They decide what you believe. Platforms profit off your attention, your trauma, and your cousin's conspiracy theories, all right? And silence is the system's favorite seasoning, all right? Sprinkle a little on injustice and boom, nobody notices. So who's really pulling the strings? The CEO, the code, or our collective comfort with not knowing? All right? Is there a way, to demand algorithm transparency, educate communities on digital literacy and data rights? All right, what strings are you ready to cut today? Platform addiction, misinformation, silence, or all of them? All right? Leave your comments down below. Let us shorty know what y'all thinking, how y'all feel.
Baby. Because they feel the vibration. That's how they communicate. If you come fuck with that baby, they gonna attack your motherfucking ass. You got to understand how this shit work, man. Stop letting man train you and use common motherfucking sense. God did not put us here to be living in no motherfucking houses like we live in, right? God ain't put us here to be spending money off shit he put here for free. I'm gonna say it a million times. God ain't gonna bless you with money just to buy shit he put here for free. Man has put together a motherfucking system that got us all enslaved. You could be white, you're a slave. And if you think you're not a slave because you white or you Latino or you this, you that, something's wrong.
Tripping.
Because slavery went from private to public. You commit a crime, you become what they call state property. Now your ass working for 10 cents for major companies. You reckon 10 cents an hour for Walmart, for Chick-fil-A, goddamn it, Starbucks, because that's the family. This is how the rich, they rich, and the post, they post. So you gotta understand, slavery is just cheap labor. They don't give a fuck what color you are.
Facts.
I mean, they don't care. They created a system to make sure you ain't gonna go to jail. To make sure you gotta pay money every 30 days. And if you don't, you're gonna go into what they call a fight or flight mode. You're gonna rob, you're gonna do what you gotta do. But why do we gotta do that? In a world where God put everything here for us for free.
They don't want to hear that.
Fool like a motherfucker.
Real shit. No, don't stop.
You don't understand the ways that they control us. Music is a frequency. Why you think when people hear certain songs, they go to crying? That's frequency. Why you think when they pass that collection plate around, they go to playing them drums and playing them chords?
They want you to get,
That's frequency.
Everything's
aligned with the chakra, okay?
Ooh.
From the bottom to the top. You understand me? And you don't know nothing about astrology, right? People don't know nothing about the moon, how the moon regulates, like with a woman's cycle. You get what I'm saying? How it regulates the tide, high and low, and all this. When you speak about things that you wasn't taught, your cognitive dissonance will kick in, right? If I tell you that's a car, when I'm really pointing at a bicycle, by default, your brain gonna say, no, because you've been taught that. They know that. So all they got to do is keep feeding you a loop. This is what why commercials was created. Commercials is just something that's over and over and over. It's like listening to a song on the radio. You hear it enough, you might say, that shit sounds stupid, but you keep listening to it every day. And this is why they call it radio programming. Programming is something that is basically coercing you to like or take a liking to when you add time and consistency.
Freaking Ed.
I'm Sage Robbins. I should look there.
This is when you add time and consistency. This is a universal law. Anything you put attention on, it grows. They just forcing you to listen to it. That's why they have to create an environment or a matrix. Because in the matrix, that's a controlled environment. They can't control Mother Nature to some degree. They can, because now, like I told y'all, now they're making it rain, and they got cloud seeding companies, and people don't understand how that benefits them. I know I'm a little off topic, but how does that benefit them? They can wipe a whole city out and blame it on the weather. That's why.
Real shit, yo. Like, listen, people not ready for this Papa Doug. They not on some real shit. Listen, I could sit here and find different ways, right, to draw people's attention, right? I can make a rap song, right? I listen, instead of doing poetry, like I could really try to find my voice in the music, but I don't want to. I prefer to do poetry because I reach more people like that. But on some real shit, like, people don't want to hear it unless they, it's something that's trending, a celebrity that's been through something. All right, they care more about a celebrity that is hurting, right, or going through some type of drama than fixing their own home.
They don't talk about us only when there's a crime. Would you believe me if I was to tell you that in this world, with or without money, we're all richer than the poor? The problem is those that say that I'm reaching out to give a hand and stay they leeching hands is itching, ready to see you missing. Well, I think I went to write. Something inside me told me I can freestyle or I can rap. I can go with a rhythm that can make you dance. Tell you what I see on a daily, tell you everything's okay just to avoid dilemma. Or I can simply bring you something positive to the table and warn you of the ongoing problems that we're having. Instead, I have to reach out to my conscience once again as I watch the crime and the violence rise and the kids lose their innocence. Now the concept of forming a home day by day loses its essence. They don't want to hear that. I can't keep my arms crossed in front of the system. If I don't do something, I'm also part of the problem. As guilty as the one that pulls the trigger, like the person in the crowd that hits the record button on their phone to expose a lie instead of the truth for clout. They need 1,000 views. The government doesn't have a solution. The problem started when we took God out the equation. The problem ain't us celebrating. The problem is that we're a nation divided when we should be a nation united and praying. That's how we live today. When problems occur, we come
You think it snowed in Florida when we know damn well it don't supposed to snow in Florida, but we so happy we running outside. We whoop, man. These motherfuckers planning for the next 100 years. Bitch, we ain't gonna be here.
I'm dead.
We're gonna be just like them fake ass dinosaurs. Yep. Dinosaurs, they never existed, bro. All bullshit. But the black man was once roaming, the earth. And we haven't seen them in over 100 years. Because they gonna wipe our motherfucking ass out. That's why they pump entertainment. This is why they pump technologies and all that. Come on, bro. But if you don't use your common sense, you're gonna think, oh, we just evolving. How could something that's already perfect evolve or be more perfect? That shit don't make no sense.
Let's make it make sense.
It makes no sense. Oh, we evolving. Oh, we went from talking on the phone. Now we can see people on the phone. Ain't no fucking evolving. We're going backwards, nigga. We're more prone to be controlled than we ever was before.
Bro, shit, yo, let me ask y'all this, all right? What liberation actually looks like, and how do we reclaim it? All right, liberation ain't just a word. All right, it's a lifestyle upgrade. It looks like clean water without a bill. It sounds like kids laughing without surveillance. It feels like ancestral wisdom got in, tech, not the other way around. Liberation is when we stop surviving and start designing. So let's stop asking for crumbs and start building the bakery. And while we're at it, all right, let's make sure that, it's gluten-free, trauma-free, and owned by the community, all right? But before we do that, we got to fix the broken infrastructure, all right, that was passed on down to us. All right, is there a way to reclaim cultural rituals as resistance, build tech that heals, not harms, create coalitions across communities, no more, silos? Tonight, I'm not just talking, all right, I'm recruiting. If you're tired of the strings, the silence, all right, the sold out freedom, join me, drop your name, your skill, your story. Let's build something, all right, that outlives the algorithm and outsmarts the system. All right, these lives ain't for everyone. They're not meant for everyone. So if you feel some type of way about what we're saying, like I said earlier, make sure you exit left, all right? Make sure the doorknob doesn't hit you with a good Lord split you.
Ever. But we say we moving forward. We're moving backwards. Look at the shit we are accepting. Think about it. The shit we didn't accept. My grandma, you couldn't come around my grandma. I'm telling you, as a man, popping your neck and acting like you should shoot you.
Real shit.
And you damn sure don't want to go around my granddaddy. Not with that funny shit.
I was about to say that, yo. You do not want to go around our grandparents like that. Listen, like Papa Duck says, today's men ain't yesterday's men. It's like, I grew up, for a little bit, like, when I hit like 17, 18, right? I'm 36, all right? I just turned 36 yesterday. It's a whole new day. Shout out to all the Leos. Happy birthday to whoever's, birthday is today, all right? So shout out to those Leos who are turning whatever age they're turning today. Happy Earth Day, all right? But listen. We
think about it. The shit we didn't accept. My grandma, you couldn't come around my grandma.
That what he was talking about, the zesty behavior, all right? Listen, my grandpa was one that was raw and uncut, all right? And he didn't give a fuck about your feelings, all right? You couldn't cry in front of him, all right? You could, listen, let a boy shave his underarms, his legs, or whatever. That shit was not allowed, all right? Because he will cuss your ass out, all right? And by just looking at you, you see where I'm going? I used to look at them like, why are y'all so scared of him? You see where I'm coming from? I didn't fear my grandpa. I had respect for him. But the way I looked at, when I looked at my cousins, my uncles, my aunties, my mom, it's like he would stare at them and they would fucking shiver, all right? It was kind of like different, all right? Like my grandpa would come and visit me, sit down, have these conversations, but I would see a whole nother side of him when he would react towards them. It was weird as shit to me. I would look at him like, "Is you okay, Grandpa? You just went from funny, loving, storytelling to God damn, where the fuck did the army man come out? Like, yo, this man just transformed in a minute. Yo, you could not come around this man if you was a boy dressed as a girl. You could not be a boy talking zesty, shaving your underarms, your legs. Listen, the words that came out his mouth, now that I know what they mean, now that I'm older, I used to be like, oh shit, like, oh, my grandpa meant business. I see why he made these mofos fucking almost piss themselves. Like, shit. Listen, grandparents back in the days, what happened to our parents, yo? I mean, I know some parents were strict, but it's kind of like that shit died down. That shit really died down.
Well, I'm telling you, as a man, popping your neck and acting like you should shoot your ass. And you damn sure don't want to go around my granddaddy. Not with that funny shit. But fast forward today, and no disrespect, I'm just showing y'all how these people have coerced us to accept the unaccepted.
Facts.
Right? Oh, it's okay, it's cool. But yet, you don't see them motherfucking Jews doing it. They promoting us doing it. Why they don't do it? Why you don't see them on TV? Why you don't see they women acting like they popping balloons and acting all this crazy? Why you don't see them on us shooting and killing and cutting each other up? And why you don't see them doing that?
That's a good question. Why?
And every time you see an actor apologizing, why is he apologizing? You gotta understand, these people make up less than 1% of the population, but yet owns over 50% of everything. How? I'm gonna give you one word. The word for the day is usury. Go look up what usury is and how they became empowered doing that and how they got kicked out of every country. And this is why they don't have their own country. They got kicked out of every country for usury. Put some shit in y'all mind, man. But listen, man, it's your boy Papa Duck. I gotta go. UbuntuApparel.com. Ubuntu means I am because we are, meaning we ain't shit without each other. This logo, that's a man, that's a man, that's a man, and that's a man. They backs are all against each other with them guns drawn. This is the women and the children, the dots. So the men are protecting the women and the children on all corners. And if you look at in the middle, all their backs are against each other. See them hands drawn?
Oh shit!
You see that hand up? That hand up? That's the women and children, the dots.
Shout out to Papa Duck. Make sure y'all go check him out, man. I really wanted to put that message out there, all right? Because it's crazy as shit, all right? We're living in a system that sells us freedom while locking our kids behind algorithms, all right? They tell us we're empowered, but we can't even protect our own without a fight. Every scroll is a setup. Every silence is a strategy, and every platform profits off our pain while pretending to be neutral. This ain't just about awareness, all right? It's about accountability. It's about calling out the systems that exploit the leaders that ghost and the culture that numbs us to compliance, all right? If you're tired of, if you're tired of watching injustice, all right, trend and if you're tired of watching injustice trend and disappear, if you're done with, performative outrage and recycled hashtags, then it's time to build something real, all right? We don't need permission. We need protection. We don't need more likes. We need legacy. So tonight, we name it, we claim it, and we start blueprinting the liberation they swore we never decide, all right? We need to remember, all right, this is their system, not ours, all right? It wasn't built for us, all right? It wasn't built. Here we go. It wasn't built for us, all right? It wasn't built by us, and it sure as hell wasn't built to protect us. So why do we keep trying to fix a house that was never ours to begin with? all right? And I'm not talking about our houses, all right? Let's ask ourselves, how do we build our own? One that heals, uplifts, all right? One that uplifts us, protects our kids, and doesn't need permission from the very people who profit off our pain. And don't tell me it can't be done. Look at the Amish, like I said earlier, all right? They built a whole community, no Wi-Fi, no TikTok, no surveillance, all right? No surveillance capitalism, and they're thriving. And listen, what's crazy is I think they got Wi-Fi. They've managed to get Wi-Fi because obviously, I mean, are those? No, I don't think they do. I mean, the real Amish, I don't think they got Wi-Fi, do they? Because how do they come online? They must have Wi-Fi. They gotta have Wi-Fi, but they're still fucking thriving, and they got their own little blueprint going. All right, and let me not talk about the others. All right. So why do we say we can't? Who told us that? Who benefits from us believing that lie? Because the truth is, we've got the wisdom, the skills, the ancestors, and the recipes. What we don't have is the luxury of waiting, all right? It's time to stop begging for a seat at their table and start building our own with no strings, no scripts, and no apologies, all right? So it's up to you what y'all do, all right? I just wanted to put this out there. It's in me, all right? I just wanted to talk about it. Those of y'all that listen, those of you who are out here, having a conversation with a shorty, man, y'all are a part of the solution, all right? You're here to improve, all right? We're not here to judge. We're not here to bash or bring nobody down, all right? We come to the round table, all right, and we talk about it. All these, lives are open panels. People are more than welcome to come up, all right? And let me give a big shout out to all those, to my day one subscribers, my new subscribers, all right? And the members that are starting to become members on this channel. All right, I appreciate those that are supporting the shorty. If y'all enjoyed the stream so far, man, smash that like button for a shorty if y'all can. A dislike is there too for those that didn't enjoy it. All right, but listen, what I care about more is if y'all could share the video. All right, help a shorty spread awareness. All right, let's talk about this. All right, let's have these conversations. The more we talk about it, all right, the more we can get more people to listen to. All right, and I do know that I do have a majority of people that are more around my age, I think, watching, all right, if I'm not mistaken. So listen, let's spread awareness. Let's talk about it. Let's have these conversations. And don't be scared to hit these panels, all right, because we're not here to bash anybody down, all right. I love, seeing the world, all right, from other people's view. All right, maybe I missed something that you caught on to. All right, and maybe you caught on something. How can I say? Maybe I caught on to something that you've missed. All right, we're not here to go against each other, but to help each other. How can I say? Improve. All right, a better you, a better me, a better me, a better you, a better us, a better world, a better world, a better us. All right. So with that being said, till next time, this y'all shorty Rachel. I hope all of y'all have a blessed and humble day. Continue to have a blessed and humble morning.
Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You understand the 7 demons within you. You understand that whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We ain't go over that, but anyway, so